Hello and welcome to one of your favorite Pac-12 web shows. It's Pac Mentality here on ArizonaSports.com. My name is Vince Marotta, and as always, thanks for giving us a watch. Week 12 is in the rearview mirror, and we learned a lot, like Ka'Deem Carey is the real deal. Yes, it came against Colorado, but think about this. The U of A running back ran for 366 yards and 5 touchdowns in the Wildcats' win over the Buffaloes. CU has been the butt of jokes all season long on this show, but the Buffs haven't allowed a single runner to gain over 144 yards on them this year. 366 yards, that's almost a quarter mile in a single game. We learned that throwing to a defensive end out of the backfield on a key third down is a bad idea, like we didn't know that before. Arizona State tried exactly that in what was a close game at USC. Backup quarterback Michael Eubank threw to Davon Coleman, whom ASU has used in blocking situations as a fullback this year. And the reaction of ASU fans to the play call went something like this. No! As it turns out, the rusty Eubank underthrew Coleman on third down. ASU went for it on fourth down and was stopped, totally killing any momentum ASU had. It was 21-17 USC at the time. Trojans went on to win 38-17. During ASU's 4-game losing streak, there have been several repeat ingredients. Struggles on offense, giving up big plays, and allowing too many rushing yards. You can add curious play calling to that list. We learned that there was a good reason Oregon quarterback Darren Thomas left school a year early, despite the fact that he did not project well as an NFL quarterback. That reason's name is Marcus Mariota. The redshirt freshman took advantage of a Cal defense that geared up to stop the run and threw for a career-high 377 yards and 6 touchdowns in a 59-17 win. 5 of the touchdown passes came in a span of 17 minutes and 34 seconds in the second half. Yeah, this kid is really good. And we learned that Stanford isn't quite ready to relinquish their spot as the second-best team in the North just yet. The Cardinal rallied from a 23-14 third-quarter deficit to knock off a good Oregon State team 27-23. The Cardinal are one bad call at Notre Dame from being in the middle of a 6-game winning streak, although things do get a lot tougher for them this week. More on that coming up. For the week, I went a spotless 6-0 on my picks to bring the season record to a respectable 60-17. This week, nearly a quarter of the BCS top 25 is made up of Pac-12 schools, with 6 of them in the rankings. Oregon moves up to number 2. Stanford nudges up a spot to 13th. Oregon State falls from 11th to 16th. UCLA and USC each move up 1 spot, and Washington enters this week's poll at number 25. Week 12 is a huge one in both divisions. We'll start in Tempe with Arizona State hosting Washington State, and it didn't take long for Mike Leach's reputation to follow him to Pullman. Of course, Leach lost his job at Texas Tech after allegations of player abuse surfaced. You remember that infamous Adam James equipment shed incident? Well, last Saturday, right before the Cougars game against UCLA, star receiver Marquise Wilson released a statement that said he was quitting the team and alleged abuse by Leach and his staff. Leach has since denied the accusations, chalking it up to Wilson being a disgruntled player. While Wazoo was dealing with all of that, ASU is in the middle of a 4-game losing streak that has them clinging to bowl hopes. A win and the Sun Devils are in. And although I don't think it will be entirely easy, I do like Arizona State to win on Senior Day in Tempe, 31-23. Washington visits Colorado, where the Buffs' defense is still having visions of Ka'Deem Carey dancing through their heads. Those visions will be replaced by new ones of Washington tailback Bishop Sankey doing similar things. Sankey had 162 yards against a good Utah defense. Imagine what he'll do this week. Huskies will roll 44-13. Arizona is at Utah, and the question remains whether Matt Scott will be able to play against the Utes. Scott didn't play in the Wildcats rout of Colorado last Saturday, well, because they didn't need him. They do need him against Utah, who needs to beat both Arizona and Colorado to get bowl eligible for the 10th straight year. Arizona has been woeful on the road this year, so I like Utah to get the win. Give me the Utes 35-31. California looks a lot like a team playing out the string, and that will continue this week as they visit Oregon State in Corvallis. Sean Mannion steps back in at quarterback for the Beavers as Cody Vass went down with an ankle injury against Stanford. Shouldn't matter much. The Beavers will dominate 31-14. The battle for supremacy in the South takes place in Pasadena as the UCLA Bruins and USC Trojans will meet as ranked teams for the first time in 7 years. The Trojans continued their sloppiness in the turnover category by committing 5 against ASU, a game they were still able to win comfortably. USC has committed 26 turnovers this season, most in the Pac-12. but UCLA isn't exactly taking great care of the football either with 21 turnovers. Possession will be at a premium in this game, and I like USC to win it and punch their ticket to the Pac-12 championship game with a 45-38 win. And the game of the week is in Eugene, with the Ducks playing host to the red-hot Stanford Cardinal. An Oregon win will clinch the North for the second straight season for the Ducks, while Stanford needs to beat Oregon and UCLA next week to claim the division title. Oregon is banged up, especially in the secondary, where reports are circulating that running back DeAnthony Thomas could see time on defense. Shouldn't matter, though, should it? Stanford's defense is good. In fact, they're the best in the Pac-12. But Oregon proved that if you key on their running game, their passing game is just as lethal. I think they'll be celebrating in Eugene Saturday night. Give me the Ducks, 49-27. Episode 12 of Pac Mentality now in the books. If you'd like more observation and insight on the Pac-12 and a bunch of other sports and non-sports related stuff, you can follow me on Twitter @VinceMarotta. As always, thanks for watching. Enjoy your football this weekend, and we'll see you next week for the next episode of Pac Mentality right here on ArizonaSports.com.